Hello, and welcome back again. We're back again for another episode of An Unorthodox CEO. I am, as always, Steve Pickering, CEO of Sussex Beds, and today we are joined by Richard Cripps from Knights Solicitors. Hello, Richard. Hello, Richard.
Glad to be here.
Yes, we have a solicitor in the house, and we're going to have to be... Actually, no, we don't, do we? We don't. We don't have to be all righteous. That's fine. We're going to be chatting about why Richard started studying law, and also what it's like being a managing partner of a solicitors. Because formerly, before Knights, you were managing director, I guess, of Rix Kay Solicitors.
That's right.
Yeah. So we're going to learn about being a managing director in a solicitors, which I think we're going to discover isn't much different from being a managing director in any other business. Yeah. So welcome, Richard. I know Richard, he's here. He was a little bit cagey about coming in because I think you had a bad experience. Is that right, Richard? On the last time you were interviewed.
My media career is short and not so sweet.
But I'm sure you're going to be superb today with us.
Yes.
There's nothing to worry about. You're not going to be a what did you call it? A squirrel?
A demented squirrel.
Yes, yes.
The last comparison.
Not at all. So it's going to be really fascinating learning about solicitors, because I think there's a perception of scary solicitors, but actually I've known you now 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, and Richard definitely isn't a big scary solicitor. So there we go. So we're going to be talking about that in a minute. Don't forget, before we go any further, hit that subscribe button now.
Do it.
Yes, that's you. Yes, press that subscribe button. You do not want to miss any future episodes. Thank you very much for pressing that button. Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, Richard, let's have a chat. I guess starting with, why a solicitor? What was that? Something from a young age you aspired to be? How does that happen?
No. Is the answer to that. I found myself at school doing A-levels.
Yes.
In Eastbourne, I was doing maths, physics and chemistry.
Yeah.
And was heading towards being probably a very poor engineer. And then school and I sort of hit the end of the road.
Yeah.
Whether I tired of school or school tired of me is a bit debatable. But either which way, I left at 17.
Yeah.
And I had to get a job.
Yeah.
And my first job, I went to work for NatWest Bank in Eastbourne.
Yeah.
And having arrived there, I thought, well, I'd better try to make some form of success of this.
Yeah.
My father disapproving on the touchline. So I started doing banking exams, and in those days they were BTEC business studies.
Right.
First year I did it on a correspondence course because they wouldn't give me day release because I was too new. And then the second year I got day release and did that. And in the meantime, my sort of cohort friendship group who had all stayed at school, been far more sensible than myself, had gone off to university. Yeah. And I was watching this thinking, that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Why did I not do that?
Yeah.
And in those days, if you got a distinction in your BTEC, some universities, actually the old polytechnics, generally would take that as equivalent to 2 A-levels.
Okay.
So I got a distinction, and therefore could access university at that point. And it was a case of the BTEC business side. It was a combination of law, accounts, economics, and some sort of very broad, just more general business training. I was fascinated by economics, but there was no sort of clear path to a career.
No.
My father would have expected me, if I was going to go back into education, to have a job at the end of it, shall we say.
Yeah.
So it really left accountancy and law.
Yeah.
Both of which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
My father was an accountant, or is an accountant.
Yeah.
Retired, obviously.
Yeah.
And I thought, do I want to follow in those footsteps and be a sort of Mark II, whether an improved version or a lesser version, I don't know. But I thought, no, I'll plough my own furrow, and therefore followed the law. And fortunately, found the academic side of it fascinating. Really enjoyed it. And it led to the career. So it's a sort of start that wasn't perhaps quite so conventional.
No.
Actually, I think set me in good stead for the career that I have had.
Yes.
Because it gave me a broad basis in a wider business context than perhaps if I'd just followed through and completely academic.
Absolutely. I think when you were saying that there about economics, a father of accountancy, and then law as well, that is a really good platform for going into business, isn't it, really? Because that's three key areas
and
to have some knowledge on.
And that's what it was designed to do. It was like no accident that was the foundation for the banks. Because if you think about banks and bank managers, especially in those days where they were a little bit more personal than they are now with the back office functions that exist. They had to understand everyone's businesses. Be able to go in, talk to you about beds, talk to me about provision of legal services. Whatever their customer is doing, they've got to understand their business and how it operates and works. So as a foundation for that future banking career, it makes sense for it to be that, and it's turned out to be a really good foundation for a legal career as well. So you qualified solicitor. You then come in to work. Where did you start? So I trained in Canterbury, at a firm over in Canterbury, qualified there. That was in one of the recessions in the back end of the early 90s, back end of the 80s, early 90s. And I was offered a position there, but in an area that I didn't particularly want to practice. That was in litigation. I didn't really want to be a litigator. I wanted to be more in the commercial side. And I had an opportunity to join a firm back in Sussex, where I'd come from. And that was doing primarily corporate work, although in those days we didn't have to specialise quite as much as we do now. So my role encompassed corporate work, property, employment, so a much broader spectrum than people do now. So that was that. I worked back in East Sussex for 6-7 years. I was offered partnership in that firm, and for one reason or another, it wasn't quite right. And in those days, if you were offered partnership and you turned it down, you weren't really going to progress any further, or there was nowhere to progress further.
So that's something I think would be really interesting to hear. So in our business, there's shareholders and directors. Partnership, how does that work?
Now it has many different meanings. In the days that I'm talking about, in the early 90s, through probably to the turn of the millennium, partnership was actually becoming an owner of the business. So investing in the business, putting your own money into the business. So you buy in to become a partner. You buy in to become a partner. Since the 2000s, there is much more of a partnership is a title, is a role, rather than necessarily indicating ownership of the business. And for instance, now at Knights, Knights is a listed company. So the partner title indicates a level of experience, a level of expertise, and a level of responsibility around delivering the services and organising teams to deliver those services.
Yeah.
But it's not about ownership of the business.
Okay.
That is separated, and the management of the business at nights is also separated.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was at Rix Kay, the management of the business, ownership of the business through me as a partner was in one place with my other partners, although we also had salary partners who were employees of the business with that way.
Yeah.
So it's slightly opaque in that sense in some businesses. It's quite refreshing at nights that it's very clear.
Yes.
Which it is.
Yeah. So you turned down this first offer of partnership.
Yeah.
And then progressed onwards from there.
I moved over to join a firm in Maidstone.
Yep.
And I took partnership in that firm about 3 years later.
Right.
And I progressed in that firm. I became managing partner of that firm. And I took that as far as I could.
Yeah.
And then really I got to a place where I had, I wouldn't say greater ambitions than others within the firm, different ambitions.
Yes.
I felt the direction should be one way.
Yeah.
And that's a song, isn't it? One way or the other.
It is. Yeah.
And they thought that another way was more preferable.
Yeah.
So having to lead a business in a direction that you are not 100% committed to is very, very difficult.
Yes.
So I felt that they as a business would be better off with someone else doing that, and I would be better off elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I joined at the time Rix Kay, who had opened an office in Seven Oaks, and were looking to grow their business through Kent. And I joined really with that brief. And some years later, 5 years later or so, I became managing partner of Rix Kay across Kent and Sussex.
So managing partner is really a managing director.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I think managing partner in the context of the businesses I was in is much more accurate in the sense that a managing director generally signifies a leader with a great deal of autonomy in their decision making.
Yes.
Whereas within a partnership, you are dealing with people who are also owners of the business.
Yes.
In a much more direct way than many.
Yes.
Corporate entities who have managing directors are. So there's more of a requirement for collegiate decision making, and it's trying to maintain a direction for a business. But take everyone with you. Now, I appreciate you have to do that in any business, but it's slightly more hands-on with the owners of the business. Sitting around the table.
It's coming to a consensus rather than
exactly. I think you'll probably have that anyway
in a family
because
business.
You've got a family business.
Yes, absolutely.
And your family are in the business.
Yes.
So you are
I was thinking
almost
that.
a managing partner.
I was thinking that
as the CEO. But I think as you move to the more distinct corporate structrs where the owners are not necessarily working in the business, they're invested in the business and clearly interested in, very engaged with its performance and outcomes, but they're not sitting around the table at that decision making process. So that's where, as a managing director, you really get to direct and lead rather than probably coach.
And try and bring
everyone
with you.
along. And don't get me wrong, you've got to bring everyone along. In whatever business you are and whatever level of leadership, it's all about bringing everybody with you. Selling the vision, selling the outcomes. But my experience is within the professional services. So perhaps I think it's different, and perhaps everyone else would say, no, that's just what it's like for all of us.
Well, yeah, just the family side, I think it resonated, you know, where we're having to come to a compromise, you know, we have to come together. But but so that's the only similarity, really. So heading the solicitor managing partner, and you're leading the strategy, or is it? And what's the challenges there?
The challenges, particularly within law, is, I think you said in the introduction, highly intelligent people.
Yes.
Who are very independent of thought.
Yeah.
And trying to bring all of those people together to move in one direction is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bit of a joke that you can have 5 lawyers in a room with 7 opinions. And there is some truth to that. And as lawyers, part of the training leads you to a place where often you just like to be right.
Yeah.
And that makes it a different challenge.
Yeah.
But it's the same in any business. And I think, you know, that's where we met. At Vistage, that's one of the powers of that group, is the commonality of challenges that face all businesses.
Yeah. And I think that's what I, walking into a Vistage group, and there's a solicitor in the group, and I'm like, wow, and accountants too. You know, you put them up on this pedestal that their business is, you know, absolutely solid. They're great at everything. But actually, what I discovered, was that you have the same challenges. And if I think of myself, and I started on the sales floor and worked my way into different roles, and suddenly I'm leading a business. But I'm a technician leading the business, a sales technician leading the business. And I think this is... And then I discovered, actually, you're a solicitor, and you find yourself in a very similar position, where suddenly you've got to deal with people, emotions, cash flow, tax, and all of the normal business things, marketing, how do we get more businesses? And that's not really a solicitor.
No, and it's not something that we are trained for.
No.
The profession has tried to get better at training for those skills, developing those skills, but it's not something we're trained for.
No.
And again, it comes back to part of the reason why we joined Knights, is that they have within the business, we have within the business trained professionals. That is what they do.
Yes.
Whether it's HR, finance.
Yeah.
We've got our own legal counsel.
Yes.
Yes, that's a lawyer, but they are focused on
running
law
those
relating to the business rather than delivering services to clients.
Yes.
That's what we as lawyers do within the business. So there's a clarity of role, clarity of function, and there's the expertise.
Yeah.
We, as a profession, have always done our best to wear all those hats. Some do it better than others. Some wear some hats really well and not the other hat. Some are broader skills and they are okay at all of the hats. But as life generally has got more complex, business has got more complex, you've got to have that expertise and that real focus on a particular aspect of the business. And that comes at a cost. There's a huge investment required to that, alongside the compliance investment that's required for that. IT, we spoke before we started today just briefly about the challenges of IT, and it's a massive investment. It's hugely vital. And you've got to have a very well structured, well resourced business that really runs as a business to make those investments.
Yeah.
And so that concept of the lawyer trying their best at various areas is really something that is, I won't say dying out, because I think there will always be, more niche firms, perhaps with particular specialisms, who are small and light on their feet and can run without some of the requirements that mid-sized businesses have.
No.
But the days of the mid-sized businesses we were at Rix Kay,
Yeah.
They're rapidly coming to an end.
Really.
You need to be in a much bigger, better resourced, better run business.
Yeah.
And that's my experience from moving to Rix Kay to Knights, is that we were trying to do lots of the things that Knights do.
Yes.
Knights do them already.
Yeah.
And where we had commonalities, Knights just do them better because
Yes.
they have professionals running it.
Yes. Yeah.
And that frees up the lawyers to concentrate on delivering great service to clients.
Yes.
And doing what they're actually trained to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And good at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's really refreshing.
Yeah. No. And I remember one of the first meetings that we had together. I mean, you were exhausted trying to, because not only are you doing the strategy and managing the business, but you're also having to do your soliciting job. Soliciting, that sounds dreadful, doesn't it?
It's all right, we are a very old profession.
Alongside that, wasn't it? And you were exhausted when I first met you.
I was.
And trying to do that. Whereas I suppose, as you pointed out, my product, and I have a team that now deliver the front end, and I can spend my time working on the business. Not so much over the last 12 months, but whereas you never had that luxury. You had to still.
No, we were nearly there.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
And that would have been where I was. That certainly was where I intended to be, where the business wanted me to be, but we never quite got there.
No.
It kept getting pulled back.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. But I think that's a particular challenge in law as well, of businesses that size, is that to lead the people within the business, they expect you to be in the trench with them.
Yes.
And if you're not in the trench with them, you become other.
Yeah.
And it makes that leadership harder.
Yes.
So you sort of have to have a foot in the trench when you're in that size business.
Yeah.
It's very different in the much larger business that I'm now in.
Yes.
Because that has its own personality, if you like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very difficult. And to be frank, we are all lawyers, and we sort of, it's hard to let go.
Yeah.
We enjoy working with clients. It's what we are good at.
Yeah.
What we know well is going back to, are we specialists? Are we trained professionals in other areas that we have to as running a business? And the answer being no. What are we trained at doing? Delivering client service, delivering great law, understanding the law.
Yeah.
And so that's the fallback position of comfort.
Yes.
For many.
Yeah.
And I certainly fell foul of that at times. It was like the comfort blanket of, I'm just going to be a lawyer again. Which was really pleasant.
Yeah.
I think, as I say, that's doing both.
Yes.
Is very hard and will stop.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's any accident when you look at the market now, whether it's private equity coming in or listed businesses like Knights, that the many good firms of solicitors are now willing to be acquired.
Yes.
By those private equity listed business and listed entities.
Yeah.
Because they can see exactly that they need to have proper business expertise,
Yeah.
scale, and the resource that comes to properly take the business forward and be in a place that you can truly deliver really great service.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the difficulty, delivering great service when you're under pressure from the actually running the business is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And being able to get a business from that place to a place where you have got the resource, time, and your people have got therefore the space to deliver that great service is a hugely difficult thing.
Yeah.
And I think people are now realising that. And as I mentioned before, you put that alongside ever increasing compliance requirements, which are all there for very, very good reasons.
Yes.
But the cost of delivering compliance is ever increasing, as with the IT. So the costs of actually being able to play the game, your match fee, if you like, you've got to pay your match fee before you can play. These are all match fee costs, and they're just ever increasing.
Yeah.
So it becomes harder and harder to make a living.
Yes.
And I don't expect anybody to be weeping about lawyers making livings, but there's a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of commitment to running a business of any ilk.
Yeah.
And if you then add some layers of complexity that perhaps are particular to professional services, the rewards have to be there. And over time, those rewards get less and less, and risk increases, and lots of people do look around, and increasing numbers of people are looking around and saying, well, there has to be a better way. And I think there is. Knights is one of them. There are others doing it slightly differently, with equity, private equity backing and things. So there's numbers of solutions, but ultimately it's all about having really good leadership, management, process, investment in IT, great people who truly know finance, HR, marketing, sales, and know how to scale businesses. And with that, the dynamic of...
Do you see, I would think law has changed an awful lot since you began. Do you see AI having a significant impact on law? And
it's a
lawyers?
$1 million question, isn't it? For lots of businesses. I think if you broaden that out from law and say, white collar industry, whatever form that is, will it have an impact? Absolutely.
Is it already?
It must. It is. But at the moment, it's having a greater impact on back office process, greater efficiencies within that area than it is in actually delivering legal services. There is a huge investment going into AI to deliver legal services, and undoubtedly, that is improving all the time. It will get to a place where a lot of the more mundane tasks, if you like, that a lawyer has to do will be undertaken by AI. I suppose there's $2 million questions in my mind around that. First is what element remains delivered by a human lawyer? And that must, if you follow that through, and it does transpire, the mundane tasks are undertaken by AI, it must be the application of more than just legal knowledge. It's going to be the application of a skill set,
Yeah.
But sort of like the old plumber, I could have banged that pipe with that hammer.
Yes.
But yes, I know how hard. So you pay for the plumber who knows how hard to hit the pipe.
Yes.
And that's the skill that the lawyer will bring it's like, all the facts are there, it's all assimilated, all the arguments, all the case law, but they can bring the more critical thinking elements to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A bit of creativity.
Yes.
And if that is the case, then the other challenge is, how do you train that person? How do you develop new lawyers?
Yeah.
Because we learn at the coalface, doing the day job, doing lots of those mundane tasks, and you pick up by watching other people, seeing other people's work, and you gradually learn.
Yeah.
And you, as your experience broadens, you get the deeper understanding to be able to provide, whether it's commercial advice or particular advice to an individual. If you're in private client, understand the nuances of things. If you haven't got that process, how do we train the lawyer to be that end lawyer?
Yeah.
So at the moment, I think we're in a profession where there's lots of senior lawyers who could look at it and say, well, AI is brilliant, and I'll just sit here and I'll provide the final touch of the really added value advice on top of what AI has done. And that's great. But in, I'll say 20 years, it might be 5 years, the speed of these things change. But how does the next generation come through?
Yeah.
And I think that's both interesting and a challenge.
Yeah. So Rix Kay acquired by Knights.
Yep.
Was that July last year?
1st of August.
Yeah. What was that process like?
I think I have an appreciation now for clients that go through that process.
Really? Yeah.
That perhaps I didn't quite have. It's nerve-wracking. It's challenging. We were, in context, a small business compared to the size of Knights.
Yeah.
And whilst Knights, it wasn't like they threw loads and loads of people into a mass due diligence exercise, but they did their due diligence.
Yes.
And for a smaller business who's also still trying to run a business at the same time, that was quite a challenge.
Yeah.
But so the time challenges were there, but it was a much easier process than I expected. Yeah. And all credit to the Knights team, very much from the first meeting we had with them. They were very clear that we had to be a cultural fit. Yeah. As a business, it was very, very important that we would fit culturally. And pretty much they said, well, if we can get comfortable that we are a cultural fit, this is how the process will then work. Okay. And they set out a timetable. Yeah. And said, this will happen here, this will happen then, this will happen then. Yeah. And it absolutely did. Yeah. It ran like clockwork to the timetable that they had set. And the fact that it did gives you a great deal of confidence in what you're doing, and in the people that you are, not handing your life over to, but a huge part of the life and what you've invested time and energy in, that it's going to be in good hands when it's delivered in that way. So that was hugely reassuring. But it's a stressful process, and as you go through the process, you get more and more bought into the end. Yes. And we recognise that with clients, and have recognised that for many years, that at the end you sort of almost get finishing line fever. But I think as you get closer and closer to it, you start to worry that, well, what if it doesn't happen? Yeah. And of course, your business is, you're running your business at the same time, but you're conscious that you're perhaps not doing not got your eyes fully on that.
No.
So you think, well, if we don't get this across the line, what do we then do?
Yeah.
How's the business going to look at that point? And
So
and
some
what do we need to
sleepless
do?
nights.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
But as I say, the Knights team were just superb.
Yeah.
And I think part of that process that was quite difficult for all of us is that Knight's business model is very different to ours.
Yeah.
Or ours was. And part of the acquisition was that our existing offices would be closed.
Yeah.
And that was on the day of completion, they would literally close.
Yeah.
And how they are structured and deliver service, all of our support team were made redundant.
Yeah.
And that was a very difficult thing because some fantastic people. And I think at one point I said to everybody in the process that we as a business employed great people. And so I was confident that as great people they would find other employment very quickly.
Yeah.
And as I sit here today, I think that's true of everybody. They all found employment, which is just fantastic. Most of them, I think, found it within the period of their notice, so they didn't suffer financially. I'm sure they suffered a huge amount of stress in that situation as well. That it is something we would have not wished on them. But we have to make decisions for the greater good of the business and for our clients.
Sometimes difficult.
And I think where we've ended up is best for the majority that move.
Yes.
And better for our clients. We can deliver better service, better quality legal advice, not from the individuals, but there are more great lawyers in the business we're in now.
Yeah.
Much broader depth of expertise. So it's the right decision.
Yeah.
But it's a tough process.
Yeah. What do you think's been the toughest challenge you've faced as a managing partner?
I think that, to be honest.
Do you think so? That was.
I think so because there is an element of it. However you dress it up, you say, "Have I failed?"
Right.
Because you are trying to take the business in a direction. You're trying to grow the business. You've got targets for benchmarks for success, and to get to a place where you say, I can't take this further.
No.
In its current form.
Yeah.
We need to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's quite tough because you are really saying that I've hit the limit. And I've reflected on that since, and it's not necessarily a reflection on my personal capability. It's just the business as it was, and all those other factors. But making that choice to now take the business into that sale process is really quite difficult.
Yeah,
really quite difficult. But those are the tough choices you have to make, and I think I'd rather have made that choice than not.
No,
because I think we could still be doing what we were doing.
Yes,
and I don't think that would have been right for the lawyers in the business, for the clients.
No.
So I think it was the right decision.
Right,
but it was a tough decision. No, and that applies also to my fellow partners, because we were very committed to the business and the direction of travel, what we were trying to achieve. And it's quite hard to say, we're going to go in another direction now. So that's probably the toughest thing.
Yeah, and as just touched on, we met in Vistage. What was it? What did you need from Vistage? Why did you join Vistage?
I think as the managing partner, as a CEO, leader of any business, you've got to present a degree of certainty and confidence in what you were doing.
Yeah.
And as many of us know, we don't necessarily possess that degree of certainty and confidence as we might portray it, but we don't necessarily have it.
We won't tell anyone, though.
And that was one of the major functions for me of Vistage, was to have that safe space to be able to be vulnerable. Say, look, hey, I've got this idea. I think the business should go this direction. I think this is really good idea. And have some people who are on the same journey or occupying very similar roles with different experiences to say, yeah, that's a great idea. Or what is actually more valuable, to say, are you kidding? You know, that's crazy. Have you thought about it this way? Or even just to challenge your decision-making process. You know, how did you come to this decision? What factors did you take into account? What did you consider? Did you think about this? Did you think about... And it makes you reflect on the decision. And sometimes you'll come out and say, you know, I was spot on. And sometimes you'll come out, I need to think about that some more.
To be challenged.
To be challenged. And I think there's a process within Vistage, probably, I don't know if I've given away trade secrets or anything, issue processing, where, you know, if you've got a particular challenge within your business or personal life even, you can put that as an issue and everyone comes together and give you different perspectives. And I found that hugely important. But then allied with that is also the ongoing learning. And I think it's something I've always valued, is continual learning. Trying to develop, learn new skills, new areas, different thinking. And I think Vistage, through their speaker network, gives you access to a huge amount. Sometimes frankly, a little too much. You can come away with overload. You burst out one month with a fantastic new idea. This speaker has lit the touch paper, and off you go. And then before you've really formulated how you're going to do any of that, you're back in for another month, another speaker and another great idea.
I haven't done everything.
So you can get a little bit of good idea overload in a way. But I think that continual learning, the encouragement to continually learn,
I think so,
is really important.
I think so. It's funny, isn't it? At each point of your business journey, you sort of think, I know it now. I'm good. And then something will hit you, and you're pushed back down again. And you go, wow, I don't. But oh my goodness, I've just learned that from this.
I think Vistage is probably are quite self-selecting in that sense, because I don't think you would join Vistage if you truly were that character that said, I know it now.
I know it all.
And I don't think Vistage would want you if you were that character that said, I know it all.
No, wouldn't fit in.
You know, and that's where being in business has many different faces, because you are there as a leader to portray the confidence, portray certainty, and if you're truly the person that believes that you are absolutely right at all times, you must be a terrible person to work for. But it's sometimes you have to portray that greater certainty than you truly have.
Yes.
So again, to be able to be in that space where you can say, I'm really not sure.
No.
A little uncertain. It's incredibly helpful. And hey, it's a fun place as well. So I made some good friends through that. Yourself as well, Steve. And enjoyed the time there enormously. Now I'm not a CEO of a business. I'm not allowed to join.
What's life now? Not as CEO, managing director.
There's a huge amount of pressure released. It's for me personally a period of some change. So there's an adjustment to. I have a job of work to do. It is back delivering legal services to clients, which is great fun. I love working for clients. I love client work, and I do still have an enjoyment of law in its academic sense and its application. I've been for many, many years my own boss, as it were, and that's quite an adjustment.
Yes.
So I think that's the sort of personal challenge. But it is truly liberating to be working within a well-run business that frees you to concentrate on what you're really good at. And I was okay at the other stuff, but when you see people that really know how to do it, you think, well, I was playing for too long.
Do they?
I have every confidence they do.
Because you didn't do too badly. So.
Well, it's very kind of you to say so.
The stresses of work. So hopefully the stresses are eased now. But what do you do to switch off, or do you easily switch off?
No.
And
that is a challenge. For me now, is that sometimes I've found myself not switched off. And I can't think what I'm not switched off from. I've not got the pressure. But I've never been one for hobbies particularly, or things outside of work. Work has been a focus for many, many years. I played sport as a younger years, but that stopped, as many people's sporting endeavours, in my mid-30s.
Mine never started, to be fair, so at least you've started.
People carry on with golf, but I just find that a mindless, frustrating task. Really strange concept. Ruins. Someone else said it, and they ruins a good walk. So I enjoy watching sport. I follow sport. I've over the years been quite involved with my local rugby club, Canterbury. I previously involved down at Eastbourne Rugby Club as well, and still in touch with them. But sport's a big thing for me. But it's that's watching, supporting. But that's I don't tinker around with engines or do any of that stuff.
So you enjoyed the England game last weekend then?
Bizarrely, not that much.
Did you not? No.
I just think it's incredibly sad to see Welsh rugby where it is.
Really? Yeah.
I think, and I think any sporting contest, there's got to be jeopardy.
Yes.
And that just felt so one-sided that it was a little bit. Well, if that was what was served up every week, there wouldn't be an audience.
No, it's true.
So we can enjoy it as a one-off.
And
get some bragging rights, I suppose. But I think from the rugby perspective, I think we would all hope for a much better, closer game than that. And then those Welsh players are very, very talented.
Yes.
There's something wrong in the structure at the moment that, for whatever reason, that's not allowing them to be the power that
there's
they should
a lot
be.
of synergies, isn't there, from business to sport, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Culture is a big thing. Confidence.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Absolutely. And confidence in business, isn't it? If you're confident, you'll move forward with things. And whereas
I think people have drawn those analogies of sport and business for a long time. And I think that's absolutely right. Building the culture, building the team. They are very transferable concepts. The difference is that you can have a winning side in a sport that might be a winning side for a season, might be a winning side for 10, 15 years. But if you're trying to grow a business, run a business, have a generational business, you've got to have something that's far longer lasting than that.
Yes.
And there's very few sports teams, brands that have lasted that long.
Absolutely not.
And that's a real
so right.
tough one.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, I watch sport, but I'd still like to learn.
Yeah.
So I read.
Yeah.
Got fascinated by Stoic philosophers for some reason. I'm sure there'll be something else along. But yeah, so I like to keep learning, keep trying to develop.
And do you have any advice for anyone aiming to become a partner or MD or anyone in a senior role?
Coming into the law?
Yeah.
I think...
would you say it's a great career?
It's certainly a great career, but it's a changing career.
Is it, yeah?
I think as advice, you've got to have the academic foundation knowledge.
Yes.
But don't settle for that.
No.
Pay attention to what's going on more broadly.
Really?
Look at other businesses, how they deliver customer service, client service.
Yeah.
Understand what your colleagues are doing. We've become quite siloed in our expertise. Understand what others do across the business.
Yeah.
How those services can interlink and relate, and look to also understand the business, because whether partnership is about ownership, where you are, or whether it's about the title, you will be running teams, managing people.
Yes.
Have to understand the economics of the business, what the levers are, how you make that business, that part of the business you're in, successful.
Yes.
Look at sales,
revenue,
cash collection. All of these things are really important.
Yes.
If you are going to be more than just the person who works on the law.
Yes.
So if you want to be more than that, and I think as we talked about with AI, that is going to become a not lesser role, but one that's in less demand perhaps. But to develop that skill set, to provide the added value advice, be the trusted advisor, which is always what we aspire to be. To be that, you've got to have a broader understanding, not only of other people's businesses, other people's requirements, but also of the business that you're operating in. And if you can get that right, it's a great place to be.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Should we do some quick fire questions? Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay. Quick fire questions. Okay, we haven't got too many, so here we go. You've got question number 1. What was your first ever job?
My first full-time job.
Well, actually, any job. Did you?
So my first full-time job was at NatWest Bank, as I said. But my first job, I worked in the Nobo notice board factory in Eastbourne. And my job was putting the little Nobo stickers on the edge of each whiteboard that went out of the factory. Which even that I realised my limitations, because I sat in a lecture hall in Newcastle, and there was this whiteboard behind the lecturer, and I was going to go, Nobo's on upside down. I hope that wasn't me.
Wasn't one of yours.
Who knows? You got through quality control anyway.
Brilliant. Yeah, there we go. Nobo. Yeah. Question number 2. What is the biggest misconception people have about solicitors?
Misconception. It's strange. There seems to be a fairly widespread view that we are all about money.
Yeah.
And my experience of solicitors in all areas of the profession is that they are actually all about the client.
Yes.
And that's quite a separation.
Yeah.
And I think for solicitors, often it's quite upsetting that they are very focused on their client and doing the best for their client, and that same client thinks they're focused on charging them fees. And it's quite unusual.
Because I think conversations I've had with you it's the opposite. Them not booking the hours they're putting in.
And they are all about the client. And so putting on your running the business hat, it's very difficult to make them record all their time, charge all their time, because they are trying desperately to what in their eyes is to be as fair as they can to the client. Now, whether that is being fair to the client or not, it's in that context certainly not being fair to the business. But that's the thing. And there's areas of the profession where people are incredibly well paid. But there's areas also where they are terribly paid. There are still legal aid practicing, criminal solicitors, dealing with, going to the police stations, appearing in the magistrate's court, all hours of day and night. And they are paid peanuts.
Really,
really, really difficult. And yet they're still doing it. And they do it because of the clients, and at that point of the rule of law. Just like without sort of straying into sort of academics, it's like law pervades everything we do. But it is ultimately what makes a civilised society. There is a rule of law. We abide by the laws, we enforce the laws, they provide the structure for trade, interaction on all sorts of levels. You don't have to be religious, but you look at the Bible or the Quran or whatever, and they are just, I won't say just, because they're obviously very meaningful books for many people, but you can look at them and say they're just a set of rules as to how people live in society together. So law is all pervading as every aspect of what we do. And for many in the law, that is so incredibly important.
And comes above money.
It comes a long way above money.
Good answer. Okay, question number 3. If you weren't a solicitor, what would you be?
That is a difficult one. I would have been in business of some sort, I think. But I don't know what that business would be. I had an opportunity many years ago, before my legal career, to go into the city. I was offered a role there. I didn't take it, but if I was just about due to go to university at the time, I sometimes think if I hadn't done that, maybe if I'd taken that role and not gone to university, that might have been where it ended up.
But in business.
But in business of some sort,
No, cool. And final question. Dream dinner guest, dead or alive?
I thought you might. I've heard that you do that one before, so I thought you might. It's really difficult, and I've thought about this, and the answer I kept coming to, and I think I suppose I should be authentic in the answer. Unfortunately, someone who's dead.
Yeah.
It's someone I never met, but is someone who isn't famous.
Yeah.
And that's my wife's father.
Oh.
He just, he's my wife's father, and I never met him, and you always wonder what aspect and what he would be like. But everyone I've met says what a fantastic chap he was, and everything I know about him, he was a working class lad born into some poverty in Wolverhampton. Through education, through the Scouts. He got himself out of there. Valued education, discipline hugely. Through that, became loved opera, and very much took himself away from his sort of beginnings. And everyone I've met many of his friends. Just say what a fantastic guy he was. He was always happy. I've never met someone who's always happy. That would be good to have a dinner with someone like that. So I think I think it would be a real. That would have been a real privilege to have known him, and I think if I could, I'd have dinner with him.
Oh, lovely! I like that. No, good answer. Oh. Well, there we go. We've come to the end of our podcast.
That was quick.
Yeah, I know. It's normally longer than you think, actually. And you go, oh my goodness, was I talking for that long? But it's been great, and some really good stories, and I think it's just shed light on your profession, really, because I think
just normal people.
And I think this is the thing with so many professions, isn't it? We're all just normal people trying to do our best, and and that's
what's normal.
What is normal? I certainly.
Just people.
So there we go. Next week we will be joined by Dr. Nick Harvey. Dr. Nick is coming in, and we will be talking to him about why he decided to become a doctor, the pressure that comes with working in medicine, and how innovation is so important. So lots of cool stuff with Nick. Nick is a really cool guy. You know Nick as well.
I do.
I think,
fantastic. I'll listen to that one.
Yeah, so we've got Nick coming in. That's a wrap, everybody. So remember, new episodes drop every single Wednesday, so don't forget to tune in. And if you want more unfiltered business talk, you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at An Unorthodox CEO. So that's it. If you're listening, as you're watching the sun come up, which is getting earlier and earlier, which is lovely, good morning and welcome to a new day. And if you're trotting through the park with your puppies, then enjoy that. Have a coffee. There's normally a little coffee shop. I quite like to do that, actually. Little coffee in the park. And if you're settling down in your Sussex bed, thank you very much for listening, and good night. Bye-bye. Bye. There we go.
Brilliant.